Donald Trump had a horrific weekend. He went on TV and he scolded his good friend Ted Cruz, a true conservative, then also attacked Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia for his question on education. Well, his good friend Mark Levin wasn't too happy with him, and he gave him a good scolding. Listen for yourself.
Because they go to Iowa? I thought that's the problem, pandering. I thought the problem was the Republican establishment. I thought the problem is that we don't have enough constitutionalists on the court. Which is all to say that I think my friend Donald Trump really screwed up this weekend. Big time. Trifecta. Joining in with a leftist on CNN to twist what Antonin Scalia said during a Supreme Court hearing on affirmative action, just joining in and dumping on him, he deserves better than that. A lot better than that. Embracing ethanol subsidies. If we can't get rid of ethanol subsidies, ladies and gentlemen, how are we going to address an over $200 trillion debt? We're not. We're not. It's not good for people. It's not good for agriculture. It's not good for the economy. It's not good for your car. It's not good for your purse. It sucks. And then we have a guy who has stood up to Mitch McConnell, who is viciously attacked in every liberal newspaper, every liberal outlet, by the establishment, who led the fight against Obamacare. And he's referred to as a maniac? I'm sure Mitch McConnell loved that. I'm sure the Wall Street Journal editorial page loved that. He's a maniac? Now, the problem with all this is, on those three issues, if you're even moderately conservative, you disagree with Donald Trump. Now, actually, we like Scalia. And actually, we like what he said, because we understood what he said about affirmative action. He wasn't out there making his statements. He was quoting the briefings. Now, actually, we agree with what Ted Cruz has done with McConnell in the Senate. We despise the Republican establishment. That's why, amazingly, there's so much energy behind the Trump campaign. How does he miss it? Yes. And then, of course, ethanol. A massive boondoggle that costs you a small fortune, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you about ethanol. And no, I don't want people who benefit from ethanol calling me. I could care less. It's like Marco Rubio getting funds from one of the biggest sugar daddies down there in Florida, who is subsidized by the federal government. I'm sick of all these subsidies. I'm tired of the Republican Party playing games. I'm tired of conservatives playing, oh, you can't talk about it. I'm talking about it. Your business should live or die on its own. Most people aren't subsidized by the federal government, and if they go under, suddenly the feds step in. You don't have access to lobbyists in Washington, D.C. This is exactly what we're sick of. Ethanol subsidies, sugar subsidies, mushroom subsidies. Stick your subsidies. Ethanol. From about a year ago. Reason Magazine. Peter Sutterman, a man I have great respect for. So he writes this in May 2014. Last November, when the EPA proposed moderating years of escalating mandates by reducing the amount of ethanol that must be mixed into gasoline, a top ethanol lobbyist seemed perplexed. Quote, we're all just sort of scratching our heads here today and wondering why this administration is telling us to burn less of a clean-burning fuel. Bob Dineen, head of the Renewable Fuels Association, told the New York Slimes, well, here's a few reasons why. America's ethanol requirement destroys the environment, damages car engines, increases gas prices, and contributes to the starvation of the global poor. It's an unmitigated disaster on nearly every level. Can we really as conservatives say that the right side of this is to continue to support this? Based on what conservative principle or theory? And if we oppose it, we're for big oil? What the hell does that mean? The environment, after all, when the renewable fuel standards, which since 2000